And oh wait, no longer greatness has arrived. Welcome to episode 361 of The Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast made by the players for the players. I'm your host, Joseph, aka Mr. Badbit, and it is here where me and my best friend Kyle talk about the latest, the greatest in all things PlayStation. And this week, it's very special because this week we are breaking down the first state of play of 2024. I give my thoughts on the Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, and so much more. And with me this week, our good friend, Kevin Diaz. How are you, Kevin?
Doing good. Hanging out, chilling, Had a good state of play reaction stream.
It was, I love the energy, man. It was a really fun time. I just love celebrating, not just PlayStation, but games with the community, having everybody involved, everybody's cracking jokes, everybody asking me, where's Bloodborne Remake? The painful questions. But before we get into all that, you're not Kyle. What did you do with him?
I'm not. Listen, man, it's just sometimes the trash gotta be taken out,
Oh, hot damn.
Nah, I'm playing. We love Kyle. I love Kyle.
Yeah, much love. Much love.
He's currently out of commission.
Yeah.
So I hear.
Yeah, he is currently really sick. I think it's the flu. I'm not counting him out just now.
The damn
but
flu.
Yeah, he gave me the message, I think a few days ago. He's like, dude, I'm really sick. I'm gonna try to make it to the state of play. I'm gonna try to make it to recording. And then like earlier this morning, he's just like, there's just no way. So everybody,
that's tough.
Give your thoughts, give your prayers, all that stuff to @Mr. K-Step on Twitter. Show him some love, man. Because I know he wanted to be here. He was here in chat. He was with us in spirit. So yeah, give the love to Kyle. He needs it more than ever because, I hate having the flu. I hate being sick. And when it's the flu, it's literally the worst. You know what I mean?
I just get frustrated. I just get agitated. Like, if my normal routine gets thrown off because I'm sick, like, I can't handle it.
I can't, yeah.
I hate it.
Same.
Personally, I hate it.
Same.
I hate it.
It's not like, oh, I'm sick. This is awesome. Sometimes you get sick. You're like, this sucks, but at least I get to spend the day playing video games, or at least I get to kick in and watch The Godfather, which is what I tend to do.
Never seen The Godfather.
What?
Dude, you can name 10 movies. I promise. You can name 10 movies. I have not seen 8 of them.
You're not a movie
at the minimum. I don't know. I guess I don't. Because, as an adult now, it's just like I would rather play a game. If I have free time, right?
Yeah.
And then growing up, I don't know. I guess my parents just weren't really movie buffs. My dad wanted to show me Goodfellas, Godfather, Scarface, etc. But my mom was trying to,
So you've never seen Scarface?
Wow. Scarface, Al Pacino. That's all I know.
Wow. Oh my God. Let me tell you something. It's legitimately not great.
Not great, really?
But it's also like a rite of passage. You must see it. Because it's like Al Pacino at his most Al Pacino-ish. He's in his prime. And he's trying to be Cuban. And it's hilarious.
Speaking of movies, though, before we get off this, though,
please.
Did you get your Avon Children ticket, brother?
Oh wait, no. Did it go live?
Did it go live? Yeah, the ones for the US tickets. Yeah,
shoot.
I'm going on the 21st.
Okay.
I am seeing dubbed. I'm sorry. I'm just,
I don't like to read.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah.
I'm gonna see dubbed. Can't wait.
Okay.
Very excited to be surrounded by my
fellow
brethren.
weebs.
Yes, indeed.
You're in the weebs.
Final Fantasy 7 stands. We're here. We're alive. Can't wait.
Yeah,
it's gonna be great.
So you never seen the movie Heat?
Never seen the movie Heat.
Wow. That's wild. I've seen that movie.
I've never seen Step Brothers. Is that big?
Step Brothers is a rite of passage, at least in my friend group.
Yeah. A lot of people say that.
Yeah. No, I've seen that movie twice. And I really only needed to see it once because it's ingrained. That firefight is ingrained in my head. It's like the coolest It's the coolest shootout ever, man.
Is he with
Oh, I can't do actors' names.
Ken?
No.
Is that what I'm thinking? Oh,
No,
he's not involved.
No, this is like
Who am I thinking of?
in
What's
the
his
80s.
name? Oh,
okay.
okay.
Yeah.
Way back.
Way
Who am I
back.
thinking of?
Way
I
back.
forgot his name.
It's all good. It's
No
all
one
good.
thinking of.
Listen, everybody wants to hear our thoughts on the PlayStation State of Play. Kevin Diaz, I bring you in because of your expertise. Of course, if people don't know you, you're from PlayStation Source. You work at IGN. You do all the cool stuff behind the scenes. And you are the PlayStation guy. Like when Kyle's like, I'm feeling sick, I'm like, the only person that could bring this level of hype, bring this level of excitement is you, Kevin. So I'm excited to get on into the show with you. But before we do, just a little bit of housekeeping this week. Of course, the Trophy Room store, link in the description. Get your shirts, get your merch. Help us, grow this show. Help us afford things like new cameras. Kyle, God knows he needs a new computer. All that good stuff. It's because of your generosity over at the Trophy Room merch store. Also, head on over to our Discord. Listen, if you want to ask us questions, you want to join the amazing community. We're so lively. Over 400 folks talking PlayStation, talking games, having fun together. That's what it's all about. The Trophy Room Discord, link in the description. And it's where we host our monthly By the Players community game show this month. In order to get primed for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, we're talking all about Final Fantasy VII Remake. That show, that meeting, that club starts at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard on February 17th. If you want to know more, please hit Drellish and Marcus O'Neill up on the Discord server. They're the hosts of the show, and I just love it each and every month, getting to hang out with y'all. And just you guys just literally show me how dumb I am and how brilliant this community is. So it's honestly one of my favorite things to do each and every month. And it really it fuels me. It's the reason why I do this show. Honest to goodness, you guys are incredible. That said,
I need to be involved in that, by the way. I gotta finesse some way in there.
You gotta figure it out. You gotta talk to Marcus. You gotta talk to Drellish.
I will.
You gotta secure a ticket. Maximum of 8.
Ticket.
And I showed 10 fingers, but it's 8.
Oh, max of 8?
Yeah, you gotta get in there. Of course, it's time for our Patreon pitch. Like we say each and every week, if we got you through a long car ride, a tough day at work, whatever your situation may be, it definitely helps us out if you toss us even a buck our way over at patreon.com/PS Trophy Room. And when you do, you get cool shout outs like the names I'm about to list, and also exclusive shows like the By the Players. We record that with our community, and then it goes out to the community. It's the virtuous circle that Jimbo always talks about. It's there. Patreon.com/PS Trophy Room. This week, I saved, because Kyle got sick, his just bonkers theory as to why Joel would beat Leon Kennedy a one-on-one match. I know, Kevin. He thinks that.
Look, like, we know that Joel can throw hands. Like, we're all aware.
No one's gonna argue
We're all
that.
aware.
No, yeah.
He's 52,
Yep.
20 years into an apocalypse. He does not have access to vitamins and one-a-days and you know what I'm saying? Like it's not happening, bro. It's not happening. I think there'll be a fight. There will definitely be a scuffle. He's gonna land some. You know what I'm saying?
He'll
like
try.
There's gonna be an honest college try involved.
Yeah,
but come on.
When
Leon does his spin kick, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's over, bro.
Dude, he's going to show him a second of Kung Fu, and Joe's like, I'm out.
Bro.
Ellie, you're on your own.
It's a wrap. It's literally a wrap.
This is where I draw the line. He tried to argue. He tried to use the Kimbo Slice defense. Street smarts. I swear to God, patreon.com/PS Trophy Room. A buck gets you into this just ludicrous show. Ludicrous. That's it.
Kimbo Slice, huh?
Kimbo Slice. He rest in peace. I want to thank our newest members, Samuel Nestling, who became a gold member. I want to thank our premium members, Todd Burowitz and Toxic. I want to thank our platinum members, Jay Shea, Jedi Master, and Cowboy Danger D, Jonas Young, The Green Gorilla Gamer, Chaotic Monkey, Rico Kill 90, Steven Flesh, Strubles and Bits, Bertos Maximus, Chris, Hybrid 748, Matt Valdez, Chris the Wizard, Solo, Liam Russ, Silkanet, Decimine, Jadis Von Metal, Mitchell Gramling, Liam Rust, and Randy Hale. I want to thank our gold members: Cypher Primus, Doth, Simon the Pie Man, Jesse Garcia, JB the Purple Monkey, Hyde Indoors, Katie, Kevin Mitchell, Kevin Diaz. Hey, you're here.
Who's that?
Oh Marcus O'Neill, Red Arrow, Aegis Hermit, Andrew Zor, Astronaut Jr., The Winter Gamer, Robbie Bobby Miller, Brenton Zachary, Captain Logan, Final Fan XZ, Hambone, JD Dillinger, Stone Cold, E.T., Tino Six Speed, N. Johnson, Sean McKenzie, Rick Arrington, Spam and Bam, and Duh Overlord, Matthew King, Dewane Raksha, Drellish, Rick Davis, and the Lord Commander Suddy. Thank you all so much for your generosity. And again, also, hop into the Discord. I know I said it again. Discord is free. But if you're a patron, you get like cool little colors and stuff. And I'm trying to get badges in there, you know? So you throw little emotes. Tell me what's a fun emote you'd like to see in our Discord. Yeah, we'll start from there. All right. Listen, Kev. It is time to square up the PlayStation State of Play for January 31st. All right. So this is how we're going to do it, Kev. Usually Kyle reads these, but you're the guest, and I want to make sure
I can read it.
No. I don't want you to do any work. You've already done so much. Don't worry about it. Let's start with the game that kicks it off, Helldivers 2. All right. With a brief new trailer for Sony's sci-fi bug-shooting Helldivers 2. This also comes from Inverse, by the way. It's almost a decade since the original game, but the wait for the sequel won't be too long now. It launches on PS5 and PC February 8th. We finally have gotten to see more and more from Helldivers. We've gotten to see what you're kind of doing mission to mission finally, like weeks prior to launch. I want to know, Kev, where you're at with Helldivers. It's coming in at a $40 game, so it's not quite full price. I don't know if that moves the needle for you. Where are you on Helldivers? Because I'm in, but more so because I'm a content creator more than anything, truth be told.
Yeah, I'm definitely in. I really liked the original game. I didn't spend like a ton of time with it. I probably have like cumulatively like maybe 5 or 6 hours as a whole. You know what I'm saying? Definitely played enough to understand the rhythm and all that. Yeah. This is definitely departing from that in a lot of ways, but also retaining a lot of the gameplay elements.
Yeah.
You know, it's a very interesting thing where like it's changing the perspective, gonna be third person as opposed to top down, more like isometric type view from the original Helldivers. My thing is that I don't feel that they're confident about this one. You know, I don't know. Like it definitely does give off the vibe that like they're just sending this out just to.
We've had this in the tank for a while now.
Yeah.
Here it is. You're right. It PlayStation doesn't seem overly confident, though. To me, when I look at like Helldivers again, I think one of the rare exceptions for like PlayStation hosts where I am into like multiplayer games. I love a good like time where I get to co-op with my friends. And as one of my buddies who is huge into the first game, he's not digging Helldivers 2 because he's like, the thing that makes it special is the isometric view. Like, you know, when you get rid of that, it's just another third person shooter. And so he's very skeptical to jump on in. I really dig the vibes, right? The Starship Troopers vibes, the over the top, like democracy over tyranny, like that type of stuff. Like that stuff seems fun enough where I'll give this a try, especially for $40. For me, I'll give it a go and play with the community. I just am concerned about the legs of this game and the fact that they still won't like show it off in a more of a deep dive. I guess we're gonna get that in a few days, though. I feel. Probably by the time this episode goes up, there'll probably be a deep dive.
Yeah, I mean that's one of my big points is that like this is a second party game, you know, not like it's a first party cream of the crop type of game, but I think it's kind of odd how like we haven't really gotten any previews for it. That could change by the time of this recording. We'll see. But even so, like we're so close to launch. It's next week. You know, it's also not that I'm not sure if Sony has complete control over this, but we have Foam Stars dropping right before it. We have Pacific Drive also in its same vicinity. Not that they can fully control those.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just interesting that they're just wedging it right here.
Yeah.
Not that they have control over that, but it's just, I just think that this rollout has been weird with Helldivers too. Like very odd, not usually what we would see.
Yeah. I feel like you're right. Foam Stars, which is, coming into PlayStation Plus this month, it's interesting because one would assume that deal was made months prior. So it's like you knew Foam Star was going to land this day. Why would you maybe want to put it somewhere else? I don't know. Maybe they're like, this is just the best time we have for it. Like March is too overly saturated. April, perhaps. Like, it's
also
it's
another thought. Maybe just fiscal year timing. They want to just get out the door before fiscal year, and they'll have Rise of the Ronin and kind of like the mid to tail end sales of FF7 and what's the other one? Stellar Blade.
Yep. Stellar Blade that's April. So that would be right out.
Like I'm saying, those are going to be towards the new fiscal year.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so to give as much ammo as possible. Not just Blade, maybe. I'm not sure how much that plays into it, but
interesting.
Yeah. I mean, it does look better every time they show it again. I will say early on, I was like, I don't like this ain't looking too hot from like a technical standpoint, but it's definitely growing on me. And like, I think the last big thing I'll say is that, from what your friend said, where like he was a little bit kind of let down at them changing the perspective on it. My hope is that we get a bit of a Returnal type of thing where like, we realize that holy shit, this actually plays.
This is the bop.
Awesome in third person, and it feels similar. To Resogun or to Housemarque's other arcade games. I'm hoping that thing happens here with Helldivers too, but we'll have to see.
All right. Next game on the list here, Stellar Blade. We finally get a very long trailer telling us what the game is, the action, what to expect, and a release date. Let's see what the blog has to say. Stellar Blade's trailer gives us an overview of the game's premise, worlds, character, quest system, exploration, enemies, skill and upgrade systems, combat, and more. At the end of this segment, we got confirmation that Stellar Blade will launch on April 26 for PS5. Chat and us, we kind of walked away feeling like this definitely gave us Scarlet Nexus meets Nier Automata vibes. I want to know, Kev, where you are with Stellar Blade, what you've seen thus far. Are you in on this game? Are you excited like the rest of the internet is for maybe not the right reasons?
I mean,
a lot of people are horny on Maid for the main character of this
very horny
show, or sorry, this game. But
horny. I think we can all agree. There's a visual appeal, but we can put that to the side.
We can say, the lead actress is very pretty, respectfully, and then walk away on that. We don't have to have some silhouette shots that we've seen already on Twitter. It seems like this is not safe for work. This is very much.
I kind of tried to make it past QA, to be honest with you, but
dude, I don't know how QA didn't walk out of there not sweaty.
At least a couple of questions, like, yo, listen, but
there's a part where she does a flip and you see all of it, which is again, it's wild. It's a wild shot, but respectfully
a wild shot, But I can't make those tethers to like it looking like Bayonetta or etc. Just because like I haven't really played those games, right? But what I will say is that like I think the one game that I kept thinking about when I watched the state of play gameplay of this game is to a degree of like a Final Fantasy 16. something that's recent where like the combat seems like very action, very fast paced, very flashy, very vibrantly colorful. Those are my jams. I love me some color in my games personally.
Yep.
And there's definitely looks like you'll have that. A lot of things that you were calling out that I wasn't picking up on
to.
off first blush was some of the boss battles and how they seem to be very much like of a Souls inspiration. Maybe not directly Souls like, but having a similar kind of cadence to it, I think looked very appealing to me for sure. Looked very interesting. You know?
This game, so I've been sold on it from the get-go. There was just something about it that had me like, this seems like over the top anime, but I can get behind it. For me, some aspects of like Soulsborne, like she does have what seems to be bonfires, but it's more like this is a nice little bonfire. Like here's a nice little like vending machine. Here's a pot of stew cooking. Here's something where you could just kick up and relax. And yeah, the action seemed a lot like, listen, do you like Devil May Cry? Yes. You're going to probably like this. Do you like games like Scarlet Nexus, like Nier Automata? That's what the vibe that at least I was getting out of it. So I may not be that good in this game because I'm not good at these games at all, but I'm definitely intrigued. This has been a day one for me for a while now, and it's kind of like confirmation, like, yeah, this is definitely my jam. April 26th, it comes out. There is a deluxe edition for $80. I'm going to see if the deluxe edition's the steelbook. I might hop on it. Just might. All right, for you Sonic sickos, let's get this out of the way, okay? Sonic Generations Remaster adds Shadow the Hedgehog and will come out in 2024. Kev, are you one of these degenerates that love a good Sonic? Do you understand his appeal, or just like, what's up with this?
I respect the appeal.
Okay.
Just because, like, I don't feel like I can really judge it. You know what I'm saying? But,
fair. I will.
You know, shout out to Sonic. What I thought was really cool here is that the Shadow side is like a whole new separate standalone campaign. Like, almost like, what was that Mario game that added that side
it's
game?
Like the Bowser's Revenge or something
3D,
like that?
That. Yeah. Like, it sounds like that, which seems pretty cool, and like a way to not just have just a remaster of it, just add something new, substantive to it. So that sounds cool. Don't know a lot about Sonic Generation, so you know, to you Sonic fans, hope you enjoy.
Fair enough.
If you indulge in the Sonic.
Yeah, for what I understand, Sonic Generations, I thought it was Sonic Colors, and then I got legitimately excited, and then I found out it was Generations. But this is actually one of the more beloved Sonic games, so I'm excited for it, man. I'll see how it looks. Maybe I'll try it. Maybe this will be the year of Sonic for me. But other than that, you people, the love of Sonic, you got to understand what Sonic is. You know, you're not Mario. You're not. You never will be. Okay. I was just vamping to save myself time, so I can. I don't even know what I was saying. I'm like, what's the next part here? We see Foam Stars, and the reason why I bring up Foam Stars yet again. February 6th it comes out, and it's part of the PlayStation monthly games alongside Rollerdrome.
Play that more.
Play that.
Please play Rollerdrome, please.
If you're like, I want a Tony Hawk game, here it is. And guess what? You shoot rocket launchers at people and miniguns and Uzis,
cool,
and
bro.
So much fun, man.
It's got bullet time. It's so good, bro.
It's like Tony Hawk meets Max Payne. You don't even need any more explanation. Bro. Jesus.
Unsung of its praises fully that it deserves, I feel like. Yeah. Great game.
And Steel Rising, which is a kind of set in a Victorian sort of Paris during the French Revolution. So a late 1700s, early 1800s type of deal. But you're all like machines. So kind of like Liza P. Before Liza P was a thing. And I'm actually legitimately intrigued by Steel Rising, so I might actually jump on that. But Foam Stars, it's a thing that exists, and it's going to be a fun weekend. That's all I got to say. I'll give it
I'm
a
going to try it.
Yeah.
I'm going to try it. I see a lot of people already, throwing in the trash can, whatever, you know what I'm saying? The Splatoon crowd is a little bit more enthused about it, a little bit more wanting to at least give it a fair shot and everything. Yeah.
Can I
Me
say
having never
something?
played. Yeah, please go ahead, please.
As a big Splatoon fan, like I even have
Yeah.
a squid like hat. It's somewhere around here. I
One of
love
the Squid
Splatoon.
Kids, right?
Oh yeah, dude. I'm a kid
Squid
again.
Kids?
Squid again. Yeah, Squid Kid.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
If this game also came out on Switch, this would be huge. I think we would be talking about this game differently, because I think the Switch is perfect for it, and an expansion to the PlayStation ecosystem is also something big for it. But I don't know. I don't know if this thing's got the ink. Yeah. All right.
They have a roadmap.
They got a roadmap.
They have a roadmap. They get that.
Zenless Zone Zero in development for PlayStation 5. Here's a few bullet points from the blog. A brand new urban fantasy action RPG by HoYoverse. So these are the same folks behind Genshin Impact from Honkai Star Rail. This is another one of their games that does incredibly well on PlayStation, so I completely understand why it's here. Extremely stylish combat and gunplay with gorgeous animated-esque art style coming later this year to PS5 alongside iOS, Android, and PC. Cool. This is another one that's just not for me. You know?
Yeah, I don't know if I'll check it out, but
Fair.
there's definitely a crowd. Like, there's definitely a crowd for it, you know.
Yeah.
And like, I think it's really cool. Like, coming from HoYoverse, like, at least from people that I've talked to that are in the Genshin, right?
Yeah.
They love Honkai as well. So like, it's almost like they have like a very particular taste in their games, even though like I know they're different gameplay styles overall from game to game. So cool that they have another one here, and like there are more shooter mechanics here in this game, I think, that aren't in the other two, I think.
Fair.
So I believe so. Very cool.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
very cool. Hey, Hawkeyeverse or whatever, HoYoverse fans,
HoYovers.
there you go. You guys, have fun with this one, all right? Dave the Diver. I love that my bit this week is that I can't connect to the kids. You know? I can't connect to the youth at all. You know, I'm like the old man of like, what even is that? That's my bit I'm going for. All right,
I'm getting old, man. I feel you.
Dude,
Bro, for the same
what's
way.
a pal?
For the same way.
You know, it used to be just
Good old
Pokemon
pal,
when I came.
bro. I know, look at it.
When I was just coming up. All right, Dave the Diver comes to PlayStation in April alongside free Godzilla DLC, May 2024. Ooh-wee. I've not played Dave the Diver. I've only heard about Dave the Diver, and I feel like I want to keep it that way. What about you? Where are you on the Dave the Diver hype? Because
Interesting.
everybody was talking about it last year, and I felt like that was something PlayStation definitely missed. So telling the audience, hey, whoa, don't go anywhere. It's here, and Gojira is going to be in it. That's right. He uses Japanese game. That's dope. That's dope as hell, dude. All in.
So I thought it was another roguelike, and maybe it does have roguelike elements to it to a degree, but I didn't realize it was more of like a, hey, like you're out doing these runs, but then there's a whole other side of it that's more like a management sim type of thing to it too, which that appeals to me. I don't know if I'll actually check it out though, but
okay. I bet if Kyle was here, he'd be all over it. He's like, Dave the Diver, let me tell you 18 things about other indies that are like it. I'm like,
hell yeah.
And I'm like, I like your charisma, kid.
I just want Katana Zero on PlayStation, you know?
Right?
Like, what are we doing, bro?
What
are we doing, bro?
Katana Zero, it was rated like years ago to come out on PlayStation. Doing? Still nothing.
Where's the DLC for it? You know? A lot of questions.
I don't even know.
A lot of questions, man.
Here's something that I think both of us, we were like, okay, this is another indie. And then as the trailer went on, we got more and more sold on it. V Rising coming to PlayStation 5 in 2024. This is a few points from the blog. Isometric open world survival based building game with dark gothic fantasy vibe as players embody the role of a vampire. Awaken as a vampire and strike out into the lands of Varadon. Hunt for blood. Absorb its powers. Gain new abilities. Rise as a mighty castle to shield yourself from deadly sunlight, because it burns. Collect materials, craft arsenals of powerful weapons. Oh shit! So you're Dracula in this.
Yeah, dude. And like I was reading some other things where like you drink different blood types to get different abilities. Like I'm like, oh, okay, that sounds pretty cool,
That's
man.
dope.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Okay. Because like when I looked at it, I'm like, this looks like Diablo-esque way of like isometric, like boss fights and all this. It was giving me obviously like a lot of Castlevania vibes, but this is actually. This kind of strikes me as, from reading this, more of a like don't starve. Like you're going out there, you're building instead of like a little base, you're building your own castle. You're becoming the pinnacle of like a vampire lord. That's dope. That's dope.
Sounds dope.
I know
Solo and co-op support. You know what I'm saying? All that kind of stuff.
I know this came to PC.
Yes.
So yeah, is this one that you're like, this is a day one cop?
Well, you know, this schedule is so much.
It depends.
But I will acknowledge that it does look cool.
All right, fair enough.
It does look cool.
Because this looks like a PlayStation, like just like Dave the Diver. This is a PlayStation Portal game. You know, do you have a PlayStation Portal? Are you a Portal pal?
I do. I am a. Is it Portal Pal? Are we Portal Gang? We got to come up with the marketing here.
No, we're Portal Pals. PPs for short.
We are?
Yeah, we're PPs.
I'm so tied to Portal Gang. Okay, fine.
I think Portal Pal just seems more welcome.
I like,
you know? When I think of Portal Gang, I think of the Squirtle Gang in Pokemon, and they were a menace to the town. They wore sunglasses.
Keep that thing on me.
Exactly. Leather jackets.
Got the portal on me. Yes, sir. Portal Pals.
It's nuts.
A couple of peepees.
That's right. That's right. Our peepees stand strong. Silent Hill, the full message, free to play and shadow dropped, as you kids love them, available today. Developed in partnership with Hex Drive from the Metal Gear Solid 3 HD Collection, FF Type 0 HD Collection, Final Fantasy 15, and this game is available now, stars a young woman, and sets out to be Konami's version of an all-new contemporary Silent Hill. The game centers around modern technology. We ended up looking how modern youth communicate online through phones and the role that it could play in a psychological horror story. For instance, a frightening thing about social media is how even insignificant individual comments can en masse build and build until they become overwhelming wave of hate crashing down on you. Wow, it's like they just played, Suicide Squad and enjoyed their time too. That's nuts.
No.
This will look like PT. I want to know your thoughts. Are you a horror guy? Is this your bag?
I'm a Resident Evil remake guy. I'm a Resident Evil 7 and on guy. You know what I'm saying?
Same.
Dead Space guy. I really enjoyed the remake last year. It was phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Terrific.
What a fucking game. God damn.
I know, dude. I know.
Does a remake kicked ass, bro. That was incredible.
Kyle didn't love it as much as me, but as someone who fell in love with the genre because like that was the game to do it. Coming back to it, I'm like, dude, it's still scary as shit. Like they don't make games like this anymore.
So dope, bro. It's just so eerie. You know what I'm saying? And I remember, so like I played a little bit of PT. I don't think I beat the demo way back in 2015 when it dropped. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I honestly have to go back and watch it because I wasn't seeing a lot of the parallels to PT, but you called it out, so I got to assume that like that is definitely here in this.
Yeah.
It has to be, I assume, a shoulder overall package of game considering it's available now and free to play and everything. Yeah. So like I bet it's definitely a tight experience. I'm like most intrigued in the way they're blending in this modern society technology in terms of social media and stuff like that. Like is the most interesting thing to me out of all this, you know? So that's definitely an angle that I would like to play this and go into for that. But definitely cool. It's on my PS5 now. Just download it.
To me, I think the interesting thing is like instead of having a flashlight, you have your phone. And like that's the thing that's like lighting up the corridors. You're reading messages, and then when you back away from your phone, like things just appear, which is like maybe put the phone a little less from your face. Like you don't need to have it. Like I don't know. But like there was one moment where you see a silhouette of a thing, and it just moves so eerily, like it's glitching towards you. That type of horror run. And I was like, no, I respect what this game's doing, but this is. If I don't have a gun, I can't do this. If this little teenage girl can't pick up a Glock 17, I can't do this,
If it doesn't have a gun, I'm not doing it.
I can't. At least there's like a way to defend myself. All right.
I feel you.
Here's the next one. Silent Hill 2 Remake. No notes here. I don't think we need them. Bloober Team Konami partnership. No date. What were your thoughts on this?
No, like it looked I guess. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
And
I don't like it.
I think. Do you recall everyone's reaction to when it was announced that Bloober Team was developing this, and all those concerns that came up, warranted or not, fair or not?
Right.
Overall, just generally speaking, maybe not the team you would pick for a game of
This
somewhat
caliber.
critical acclaims. Yes.
Yeah.
Silent Hill 2, right? I've been just seeing some tweets in the few hours since Stay Up Play, and there seems to be that kind of temperature of people being like, yep, this is definitely a Bloober Team game. You know what I'm saying? People aren't really wowed by the gameplay per se. I saw some person say, which these aren't my comments, I can't corroborate what they mean directly or not, but they were saying that if there's this much combat in the Silent Hill 2 remake, they're saying that maybe that might not be as faithful to the original Silent Hill 2, and that might be a problem. So take with those as you will, but I haven't seen that. So people aren't really high about this showing.
Yeah, a lot of people were at like invalid questions of like, can Bloober Team meet the moment that is making this game, as their games since Layers of Fear 1 have kind of been like hit or miss. You either love them or you hate them. They're good or like they're written in such a way which is like, why would you do that? Why would you add that there? And rightfully so, like people are skeptical because again, the track record is mixed. Seeing what I saw, this is a wait and see. Like I think one of the things going against this game is how good Capcom is at remaking their games. And this is like, it felt like, in terms of remake level, they were like, hey, Capcom, can we borrow your homework? We won't make it look like you did it. And somehow they copied the homework, and instead of getting like an A+, it got a C+. And like, shit, what did I do wrong? That's the feeling here. There's something about the impact of hits. The animation doesn't feel good. The sound of like when they're shooting doesn't sound... They sound like... I hate to sound this critical, but it's just how I feel of like, hey, let's just take an asset of a gunshot. Not like, hey, let's go to a range and let's hear how a gun shoots in a house, down a hallway, and in an open field, and kind of see, the differences there. I don't know. That was... Right. It's... Sound-wise and animation-wise, just didn't sell me.
And I think one thing that like I do want to say, because specifically this is Konami, right? We saw how MGS Volume 1 collection came out, not to the greatest of reviews, not to the greatest of quality, one or many you might say, right? We're seeing some interesting things about MGS3 Delta, right? That whole thing, a little bit wishy-washy. And like, you hit the nail on the head, where like you see how Capcom does their remakes, right? Literally fucking stunning. We see EA with Dead Space. We just talked about that earlier in the podcast. Like, phenomenal, right? And this kind of seems to look like it's continuing the trend of Volume 1 collection remake and what Delta seems to be shaping up to be. I'm just petrified, honestly. Can't lie. I'm very concerned about MGS1 remake.
Fair.
Because I need that to be perfect. I ain't gonna hold you. Like I need that to have all the bells and whistles and look absolutely fantastic. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just, it's like, yeah, I'm just a
This
little
gets
concerned.
me nervous for like what. Yeah, you're right. What the other
Like
remakes they have.
I need like a Capcom level MGS1 remake.
Yeah.
Like I need to be fucking jaw dropping.
Yeah, fair, fair.
But we'll see. We'll see.
All right, here's the one that had my jaw drop. God damn you, Ken Levine. Oh man, you're something else. Judas' second trailer drops here at the State of Play, so we now know PlayStation is backing this game with its marketing of Judas. Of course, Judas is Ghost Fire Games, right? Or Campfire Games?
Ghost Story, I believe.
Ghost Story, sorry.
Ghost Story games.
That's his new studio since he left with BioShock Infinite back in 2013. Jesus, time is an enigma. So this is over 10 years. He's since his last game, Judas. Here's a little synopsis. In Judas, we give you a whole new world to explore. The corridors of the Mayflower, a space-faring city. Those citizens are trained to spy on one another and tear each other apart for the slightest offense, where machines control every aspect of business, art, and government. The ship's leaders try to turn you into something you're not, a model citizen, and you sparked a devastating revolution to tear it all down. Whoa, this looks great. This looks
great.
like the reason why I love BioShock. It does an excellent job of political commentary and socioeconomic commentary as well. Like it's just all of it. So this one, it's like BioShock. Kev, I know you played an hour of it. How dare you?
Yeah, I don't know what happened, guys. I don't know. I will correct the record. I will correct the record. I will correct the record.
This seems like, hey, what you love from what we do with BioShock, both narratively and game design, it's still going to be here, but it seems like you have a lot more agency. You have a lot more, I feel, chances and choices in this game to kind of mold it your way. This looks spectacular. I love BioShock, Kev. It's like the reason why I love a good narrative driven game. BioShock is it. So this is kind of giving political commentary on like today's society, where BioShock was like, here's Ayn Rand, like libertarian society gone amok, and we're going to tell you why. This one is kind of like, this one's a lot more close to home. So I'm very curious as to what he has to say. Yeah.
Indeed.
Oh,
Indeed.
I
will be checking this out.
All right.
Go check this out.
All right, fair
but
enough.
I feel like I can't play Judas without playing BioShock. I gotta.
You really can't, because they even have
the
powers of BioShock in there.
Yeah.
And like the art style is just like, it's astounding. It really is. It's beautiful. I can't wait. I really can't. Of course, no year date on this. Please, Ken, get it out there, because I know 2K is hungry to do something. So, I really want this game to do phenomenal. Here's one. Kev, have you seen this? Have you heard about this? Metro Awakening coming to PlayStation VR 2 in 2024. Metro, a series that you dig, Kev? Or
Indeed.
where are you?
Indeed.
Yeah?
I played all of them. I enjoyed the first two a lot. Exodus, I think, came out in 2019 or 2018, like somewhat recently.
Yeah.
I think. Wasn't loving Exodus. I feel like they did honestly like a bit of a similar thing as the latest game. I was like, man, Ghost Runner 2, where I just feel like they just added a lot of it to like they just added a lot to the game that I just feel like definitely takes away from the core reason why I like it and why like a lot of people did. And like in Metro's case, it was at first a very linear story driven experience, and you're just going through a linear first person shooter, you know what I'm saying, fighting monsters and such, battling and having this really cool balance between the radiation and enemies and all that, and like trying to survive.
Yeah. See,
I think Exodus kind of took it just way too open world and just kind of just, yeah. But
I'm a little bit, so I'm naive to Metro. I tried Exodus and I wasn't just, maybe it just started off a little bit too slow for me and I just couldn't get into it.
Yeah.
But as a non-fan of the series, what do you think of Awakening? Do you think that's them going back to basics on this and going, hey, here's more of like the corridor-based, thing that you love from the original games, but in VR?
Yeah, because based off the name, and maybe that info's out there and I haven't seen it yet, but like it seems to be some sort of prequel, maybe. Mm-hmm. And they're back in the subways, which the big thing about Exodus is that they leave the subway.
Okay.
Right. Which like the first two games primarily take place within the confines of the subway system because the top world is so fucked up and all that.
Right.
So it seems like they're going back to that. And that definitely is speaking to me that, okay, like given that and maybe the overall scale of a VR game, maybe there will be that tight focus that seems to be corroborated with the trailer footage. And that definitely pleases me, and to have that like intense factor of like, there's a mechanic where you're checking your health and your radiation levels on like this watch on your wrist. So to have that in VR, I think it's going to work great. Like we see like a little bit of that in the trailer. Like I think it's at first when we heard the rumors, I was like, damn, like why Metro? Like what the fuck? But now I kind of see what they're going with here.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm in. It's coming out this year.
Yeah.
Very excited.
This looks pretty cool. It seems like they're like, hey, here's some really cool things that like, Valve got to do with Half-Life, and we want to implement it in our own universe. That is really what the vibe I was getting here. And I love when like a VR game's like, listen, make your left hand the menu. let your hands be the UI. I always dig that. It's a gimmick that I like. That and like when he slides the rack of the gun, I was like, oh, and the bullet juts out. I'm like, yeah, I'm such a dumb sucker for this type of VR shenanigans. But yeah, I'm totally in. This looks really fun. I'm interested to give it a go. That said, we had Legendary Tales, another PSVR 2 game, Dungeon Crawler, and I love that this game knows it's like, hey, listen, we're an action, RPG. In VR, and we're just gonna have a fun time with it.
It looks like a ton of fun, bro.
Ton of fun. You're Captain America, like your shield around.
You're Thoring it, bro. There's you're Thoring it. So does that play into the title? Like,
I'm guessing.
Are you like kind of playing these short ancillary tales of mythical heroes, like or something? But I'm not sure how. But like, what's Captain America one?
Because I really want to do that. Yeah, like, is there mix and matching? Like, for example, in the last second, you get to like, hold your hammer up like your Thor, and like lightning hits it. Now it's imbued with lightning. That was really cool. But it's like, is there like classes that are mix and matching? Like, is this kind of like, half spell, half melee type of like vibe that we're going for? It's interesting. I love that they're. Again, it seems like they're having fun with the physics of VR and what it can do. And like when you get to imbue your sword, like placing your hand across the blade and you see the fire come on it, I was like, all right, I'm in.
That
Say no more. Say no more. Hey, we saw another trailer for Dragon's Dogma 2 coming out March 22nd. Are you into this?
I just don't think it's my type of game, but it looks cool. It looked good. It looked cool. Definitely. We did a whole month of IGN first this month around Dragon's Dogma 2. Ton of content on there that I saw here and there as I was publishing and stuff like that. But it looks cool.
It looks awesome.
Yeah.
I really, to me, the thing that always gets me with Dragon's Dogma is the stories of people going like, yeah, so like there's an ogre on this hill and I just shot the mountain above it and a boulder came down and crushed him. It's like, oh, and you didn't even have to fight the ogre. You just like outsmarted him. There's a lot of that here in the trailer. Like there's this half wizard, like half like swordsman class that someone was rocking, and they shot just a blast of ice at like this big giant ogre, and he was able to run up the icicles, jump, and then slash him with the sword. Like it's thinking outside the box like that has me excited for Dragon's Dogma 2 and how that could open up. So I'm sold day one, Dragon's Dogma 2. Let's do it. I'm in.
Hell yeah.
That said, oh man, we're closing it out. We're on the final 3 games, Kev. All right, you ready for this?
Yes, sir. Let's get it. Yes,
Rise of Ronin, March 22nd as well. What were your thoughts on this, man? People seemed a little bit mixed on some of it.
Yeah, this I'm definitely like on March 22nd. What am I gonna play? Likely, probably this over Dragon's Dogma, right?
All right.
This looks pretty cool. You know, I think like what you're referencing on that conversation is that I think that the early trailers made it. I think look of a visual quality that maybe for some people and maybe just generally speaking seemed higher than what they showed here from the gameplay.
Fair.
Right?
Yeah.
But I think that kind of gets overridden for me personally, just off of how cool that gameplay looked and like how many different ways that this character was engaging in combat. Like there was the fast-paced, flashy parry that you look for in a bit of a Souls-like games like this. Yeah. There was this really cool move that he kept doing where he was pulling enemies with his like harpoon rope thing, and there was this move where he was swinging the harpoon like rope as like a weapon.
Yep.
Yeah, that like
come over here.
Like it seemed like really, really dynamic in terms of his combat systems, which I think was really dope. A lot of really cool gliding with the Aang looking glider type thing. Yeah.
Aang looking glider.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I did understand that reference.
Yeah. Like, but yeah, like I think maybe like the worst thing was probably the visual fidelity, but like, I mean,
I'm at
if
this
it plays
point,
good, it is what it is, man.
Exactly. If it plays good, I'm in. Visually, I understood what some people were saying outside of the cities. I think the difference between this game, the way it was shown off originally, was you're in dense environments, and that really gave the allure of like end time of day. So like you're in like dawn, you were in like midday.
Yeah.
So like the lighting was crisp. Whereas like they took you to these snow covered like valleys, and you're like, this doesn't look too great. But for me, it's like, listen, I don't need to see the pores on this dude's face. Those games are great when they do that, don't get me wrong, but not every game needs to be that. So for me, I'm like, if Rise of Ronin is their answer to Assassin's Creed, Koei Tecmo and Team Ninja, then yeah, I'm in. I've been day one on Rise of Ronin. I get it where some people are like, we have Ghost of Tsushima at home. I'm like, well, okay, you got 2 samurai games. Like, let's relax on like that, please. Please. Give me more of this because it's awesome. Yeah, I'm in. Day one, Rise of Ronin. Let's do it.
Indeed.
All right, you have some information on this. Second to last game shown. Technically PlayStation first party. Technically. All right. I tried to give you one, Herman. Okay. Kev won't let me. Until Dawn.
I mean, first party IP.
Sure. Well, not even. You know what?
I guess. Kind of. Doesn't PlayStation own the Until Dawn IP? I think that's true.
Yeah. No, they own the IP, not, of course, obviously.
Yeah, not
Supermassive.
The dev.
Yeah.
Which is not even Supermassive
making
developing this.
No, it's Ballistic Moon.
Ballistic, yes, thank you. Thank
and
you.
Ballistic Moon was rumored to be working on 2 projects. One looks like is Until Dawn, and another one is a dark what is it, like a dark RPG? Dark fantasy RPG. So we know this is their project, Until Dawn remaster, coming to PlayStation 5 and PC in 2024. And you said that there are some things changed.
Yes. So this is from the PlayStation blog. The game, like you said, Ballistic Moon's developing, and it's rebuilt in Unreal Engine 5. So we'll probably see some really good visuals in there, generally speaking. They have cited like a lot of new work from the animation system. They're a lot newer and improved animations, which definitely makes sense because I remember it being kind of stiff.
Yep.
When the original Until Dawn. Also remember that frame rate not being too great. So yeah, really,
a little rough.
Yeah, very choppy game. They say a completely new soundscape.
Okay.
Which is very interesting. And
I love scapes
the last
sounds.
big Yeah, indeed. And the last big thing is they're changing the camera perspective. So if we remember from the original Until Dawn, it was more of like a censored camera, if I remember correctly. Now this will be more third person over the shoulder, typical of our usual PlayStation perspective that we're
accustomed
well
to.
well used to. Yes, yes. Cool. So that's very intriguing. Very intriguing.
Are you gonna be getting this day one, day 2, day 3? I'll wait and see.
Know, man. Like, I'm just not the biggest Until Dawn fan.
Fair.
Like, I think it's cool. You know, maybe in the past I've been a little bit harsh and said it's bad. I've definitely had times where I've flown off the mic with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But maybe if it hits in October, you know, maybe it's the right time.
Spooky
maybe it's for the
season.
right price. Yeah. Maybe. And I get why they're doing this. You know, we have the movie announcement that was a couple weeks ago, so definitely can see why they want to do this. Looks cool, but you know, I can just think of so many other games that people are actually asking for,
like Bloodborne,
a remaster. Like, when let's say Bloodborne,
where is it? Yeah.
That hurt. Like, I'm not even a fan, and I'm pretty shocked it's been this long. I'm like, guys, like, for real?
Again, my day in the sun, or in this case, the moon, will come. It will come.
Indeed.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. You just gotta believe. You gotta just say it with confidence and gusto. And when it doesn't happen, it's fine. It's fine. But PlayStation knows, dude. They know. They
oh no,
it's not like they don't look at Twitter and go, "Oh wow, a game an IP that we own is trending. We should make another one of those." A lot. Again. It's been so long. Too long.
I just feel for y'all because it makes too much sense to do it. So I'm like, why?
Well, I mean, just strictly speaking, because From Software is busy with Elden Ring DLC. I am on the boat. Like, they will get back to it, and I don't think PlayStation wants to do it without them. Personally,
smart choice.
So I think when it comes to From Software and their engine, I think PlayStation wants them to handle it. Just simple as that. So for me, I know Bloodborne's not here, but it will be one day. And when it's there, hooey. Check on me, y'all. Check on me, y'all. Until then, Until Dawn looks fine. I may get it if the price is right. If this is a $40 game, yeah, sure. Because it seems like they're doing enough to warrant it. But if it's like 50, 60, if they try 70, nah, there's no way. Even for this channel, there's no way. All right. Because it'd be fun with a party of people, but just Anyway, let's get into the craziness. All right. What was that trailer, dude? What was that trailer?
Like, if y'all are listening and y'all have not seen this, like, I need you to pause and go. Like,
yeah,
I don't even know how to. Like, I'm not. Look. I know, like I know some people are like, "Oh my god, Kojima, like overrated." This and that, but like, I'm being so like, I think he's literally a visionary. I think he's literally a visionary.
I do too.
I think he's one of the most like I don't understand, but I get it, but I don't like. I feel like I saw like a whole life in front of me, and I don't know how to I don't know.
It's dude. Like, I just want whatever Kojima's having, because like yeah, there's no way to describe this trailer. There's really, but at the end, like, and as you're watching it, you're like, for example, Fragile has like a face mask, but instead of it being like a normal, like, you know, N95, she's got like two hands that like the fingers like linked together in a couple. And when she wants to take the mask off, the hands separate. And then at one point in time, she's sitting down and the hand has like a cigarette in it.
Fucking like a cigarette. And
I'm like, well, that defeats the purpose of the mask, but okay. And she just takes a whiff of it. You know, they're in a sarcophagus, her and George Miller, the director of fucking Fury Road, are like looking at a sarcophagus, and they're just like, what's inside here? And a little ink gets on her hand and ages her a little bit. There's one point where like they're in a a sub, like her base from the first game, and so it's a big giant vessel, and like they're not in color, but everything else is. She's got a little Geppetto looking ass sitting on her shoulder. He sounds like the Conan O'Brien Triumph the Comet dog on him. But like it's dope.
Like it's one of the coolest trailers I've ever seen in my life.
Higgs is
I think it's bro.
And he's like, bro. I lost the emo cape. I'm now just a heavy metal dude, all in orange, like he's hair metal. And my guitar is going to shoot lightning when I strum it, and then I'm going to turn it into a blade. Nothing makes sense, but you're in.
Guys, he was strumming the guitar and executing attacks on enemies via the strumming of the guitar.
Yep.
And then it became a melee weapon.
Yep.
In like the span of like 30 seconds. Bro. Like, it's one of the coolest trailers I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it's like if a paramilitary dude went to a Kiss concert, it changed his life, but he also has, the perspective of like the line of duty type of deal. It's like I do have a code, I do got to do some military shit, but I love Kiss, and so I'm gonna Joker, my face up. That's what and it works. It sounds outrageous, it sounds dumb, but I'm like in every step of the way.
How I always describe a Kojima game, right? Yeah. Starts all the way back when I was doing the MGS playthrough series with the homies, where we played through all of the MGSs. It's on JoyClicks. Go check it out, whatever. But by like MGS 3, I kept saying this phrase, like this is just how I describe it. Where like Kojima games and instances and just gameplay moments, like they're almost stupid. Like they're almost stupid, but then they're just so cool that you can't call it stupid.
Yeah.
It's like they're just it's almost nonsensical.
They ride the line of nonsense.
Yes.
And then they just take a detour to badass. Like
it's so cool, bro. It's so cool, bro. It's so
And then there
cool.
are like some lines
it's so
like
cool, bro.
This one, it seems like it's much more action heavy, which is one of the critiques of the original game. So like Fragile shows him like the armory of what he's going to have to do, because there's more than just connecting America. Now it's connecting the world. Now it's, should we even have connected in the first place? And
fire.
The next scene, it's him with, again, Kid Rock Higgs, and Higgs takes his AR and he's just like, seems like you traded your rope for a stick. And I'm like, how he just says that line. I'm like,
that's so cool. Dude, that's such a cool line.
Cool. That's a cool thing I've ever heard in my life.
Like, bro, that's such a cool line, bro.
And like Kojima, it's like Kojima was just like, Troy, go almost unhinged. Don't go full unhinged, just almost. It's just, God, I've never been so hyped. This game looks incredible. When I say like not every game you need to see the pores on someone's face, this is the exception. You saw like the leather frayed on like Sam's boot. Like it's awesome. I'm so in on this, and I know how crazy I sound because it sounds nuts, but like even the Geppetto, like he's dope. The Alan Wake Geppetto. Let's do it.
I just fell in love with I think I like the world of Death Stranding more than probably Metal Gear. Like probably.
Oh wow.
Probably. Just specifically the world.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think it becomes close to, Solid Snake or Big Boss, like from like a legendary like character perspective, but the world that Death Stranding is, like, bro, I fell in love with that. Like, I was graduating college when I was playing that in November of 2019 and everything, and like all of December, like I became obsessed with that world. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And just to see it here again, I think one thing that I think be like I need to see how it goes is I thought it was really cool of Death Stranding, like not really having a mechanic where it deterred you from being combative. Right, because when you killed someone, it created
a BT.
A beach. Yeah. Like a BT type thing. So it seems like this game is kind of pushing you more towards combat from what we've been seeing. I think maybe there's an argument to be made here where that could kind of make it feel a little bit less unique from what Death Stranding was.
Mhm.
We'll see how that pans out.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm more of a I trust Kojima.
Yeah.
That it's going to be fucking fantastic. So
I'm so in.
yeah,
Dude.
it's going to be incredible. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
like
I'm so in. I'm so in. Okay.
Can't wait.
New tactical espionage game from Kojima Productions, and Columbia Pictures. Fiznik. All right, working title, will be the third original IP since the establishment of Kojima Productions. It is a completed new action espionage for the next generation. It will be created using cutting-edge technology and the best talents from around the world, both from film and video games. Of course, film. Of course, Kojima. Of course, this is an interactive, quote-unquote, game, but the look, story, theme, cast, acting, fashion, sound, etc. are all next level of digital entertainment that could be called a movie.
I love him, man.
Kojima, just say you're making an FMV game, but like still go off. Do you? You know?
Can I be a little bit dramatic?
Go, please.
I'm gonna be a little bit dramatic because I honestly feel this way, and this is why I was so shocked when I saw the words, tactical action espionage game, right? Like, I think this, like, there are times in gaming where I've been like, this is history. Like I'm,
I love it. No, stay on this lane. Stay on this lane, Kev. Let's get crazy.
Right? Like this moment that we heard live on stream on Say a Play, January 31st, 2024. This could be one of the most like the start, the catalyst, if you will, of one of the most influential and impactful things that happened to the industry as a whole, bro. Dude.
I love how we sound crazy and we're in on the bit that we sound goddamn nuts. But
bro, I know. I sound like I'm gassing it. I know. But yo, he's come like what? Like this is the successor to Metal Gear,
and he's saying this is the culmination of all the things I've done.
He said that. He said that. And I'm sorry. I'm not, yes, PlayStation fan, whatever, woohoo. He didn't say that about the other game that he's working on.
He didn't even say it about this game, He's saying it. He's saying it about this. Like, this is going to be something else.
And I do think this is when he says for the next generation, like, I literally think he means PS6. Like, I literally think
100%.
Yeah. Like this won't be for a while, obviously. But
now he did say he's making it right after Death Stranding 2, which is great. Point to note with Death Stranding 2, the other like gameplay moments that we were able to see, avalanches, straight up just like rubble, just like whole mountain just crumbling apart. You see him assuming he's like crossing something that looks like the Sahara. It looks like he is going around the world.
It's so
connecting it all. So just the vistas that we're able to see is just awesome. I love Death Stranding so much. And this,
I can't wait.
As someone who I will hold my reservations on Metal Gear, I just got to complete the trilogy. I'm very excited that this will be something I'm able to get in on the ground floor of, instead of getting to experience it years on out, So, yeah. That said, last but not leastly, Final Fantasy Rebirth State of Play. They announced a State of Play at a State of Play. February 6th. More info. Of course, Kev, you're going to be coming back to the show next week to talk about it. For sure.
I will be here.
Okay. That said, I want to know your thoughts about the State of Play as a whole. Where would you rate it overall? What were like the games that were the most exciting to you? And at the end of the day, what if you had to put a number on it, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest, where are you landing?
Okay. So games I'm like 100% interested in, like want to check out actively. Helldivers, Stellar Blade. Let me see.
Rise of Ronin.
V Rising, sure.
Okay.
Rise of Ronin, Judas, Death Stranding 2, obviously. If we want to count the next tactical espionage game, sure. And then announcement of game focused state of play is coming back.
Yeah.
Seemingly. That's huge. That's huge for me because I just think that's been just missing in the overall PlayStation dialogue and like how they promote and talk about games, right? I just love those state of play, so I'm happy that those are back. But overall, I think I'm hovering at like a 7. You know,
Okay.
I think I was riding the high on that 8 when I said it on stream, but I think I'm kind of cooled down to about a 7. I think what they showed here was Metro Awakening as well. Like, there's a lot of things that I'm really gonna look at here, you know, and I would say overall more so things that I'm intrigued about and would want to check out and will definitely play versus things that I'm not interested at all in, right?
Fair.
I'd say there's more so I am interested in the majority of these games. Yeah. I do think that although this was a great state of play, I still think that the PlayStation has something to make good on, which is something that you, I think, called out here a few minutes ago, but no first party presence.
No, none.
No first party developers here.
No. Which I wasn't expecting. I feel like I wasn't, but the internet was.
Really? I was expecting at least one, at least something, at least one. Like literally just one. I would have been like, okay, cool. Like, all right, like Blue Point. You know what I'm saying? Like devs that like I've not gone since the beginning of the generation or
like Bend
since
or
PS4 era. Yeah, Bend would have been great here. You know what I'm saying? Like something like that. So I think that's something that definitely I think we're gonna hear a lot in the coming weeks here about that specifically and how first party's still been quiet. But when you look at it at the end of the day, if you look at it from Sony's perspective, PS5 are selling like crazy. Outpacing PS4 numbers, selling like crazy, right? Coming off the heels of Spider-Man 2, right? Great game. We all enjoyed it. Coming off the heels of Valhalla, that drop in December. A little bit of No Return Last of Us Part 2 remastered dropping last week. You know what I'm saying? And then we just have a little pocket here of about 2 months or so of a lot of third and second party games. So I think they're gonna ride it out here. Then my hope is in May they gotta talk, right? You know,
that's so
and like and like what irks me still is that you've probably said it on the podcast too. We're like, oh, they gotta talk here, right? Like here they can't go beyond here, and they've gone beyond here for a little bit now. You know what I'm saying? So I truly hope that May is the real like. Okay. Yeah. Let's hear about first party in the real way. But.
Yeah, no, I think, and I think you will. I think there's going to be things in that showcase. I'm not saying I know anything. Just please don't even stop. I think there's going to be things in that showcase that you will have in 2024 to play and enjoy. I think the state of play though, for me, like I think I said on last week's show, is just like, here's your first half of the year games. And for me, like, Helldivers, Stellar Blade, Dave the Diver, V Rising, Rise of Ronin, Dragon's Dogma, Death Stranding 2. Like, I got 6 games right there from the lineup of 15. I got 6 games that I know I'm going to pick up day one. And then there are some others that I'll wait and see, but like that's still a really good number to pick. So yeah, was there not a thing that blew my socks off? Sure. Was there no like Fable-esque announcement? Sure. But I think on one hand, you have nobody's talking on PlayStation side, which is bad. And then when we take a look at the Xbox camp right now, I'm not trying to make it us versus them. Please relax. Right. But like they're having a similar problem with their community that the PS4 had, which is like, dude, Fable looks great, but like, when's it coming out? Like, how many times are we going to see Hellblade and it's finally out? I think we saw it like, what, 3-4 times before we got a date for it. So like, I think there is an overcorrection by PlayStation of like, hey, less vertical slices until we know these games are a year or 2 out versus this game is about 3-4 years out, maybe even 5. And we're going to just kind of show you these to get people excited and get, hopefully some talent interested in this IP. PlayStation doesn't have that problem, so I don't think they're interested in doing that. But you're right. Then that's not a defense of like, this next state of play, this next showcase has to show us that roadmap clearly. We have a good 4 months ahead of us now that they bought of runway. And now after that, after May, it's like, what is the big November game? And that's something that if on PlayStation, that does concern me. It's like, what's the big game? Because we don't have a Spider-Man. So what's going to be our equivalent? Is there an equivalent? Or is this really just a very dry year for them? And they're going to like live off the XDev teams, which, as I say that, like Rise of Ronin exclusive looks great. Stellar Blade exclusive looks great. Those are not going anywhere. Like second party or first, like those IP are exclusive to PlayStation. So to me, I'm like, I am still getting exclusives in 2024. It just might not be Naughty Dog, but I think like by May you're gonna see stuff. I definitely feel like PlayStation knows. But yeah, that said, I think this is great. I give it a solid 8. I really like what I saw, and I have no regrets. That said, let's get into some Flash news. Got to do this fast. Got to run fast. Horizon Forbidden West coming to PC. Well, a whole bunch of NVIDIA doodads on it, extra wide, all that stuff. I forgot to end stream on the stream earlier. You believe this?
Really?
Our state of play reactions, because I forgot you have to also exit out on YouTube. Well, we were there for there was 2.5 hours of just black darkness, the void. So you think I know anything about, what is this, NVIDIA DLAAA? No.
You know what I'm saying? Just a lot of like upscaling stuff, ultra wide stuff. You know what I'm saying? All the fun stuff, frame rates unlocked. You know what I'm saying?
Unlock them all, dude. And it comes with the Burning Shores expansion as well. Cool.
Great DLC.
Mass Effect and Destiny 2 crossover announced for February 13th, which makes me massive by this news. If there's nothing I love more than Bungie and Mass Effect, holy crap! These the Warlocks yet again. Warlocks and Titans this time around. I didn't even bother with. Oh wait, no, Hunters are Garrus.
I want to see how my Titans look. Hold on.
Titans look like straight up like Shepherd.
Oh fuck yeah!
Yeah.
Fuck yeah!
And then like Warlocks look like Liara. Dope. You got the spaceships. They look like the Normandy. Yeah. Damn, dude, they got me.
Dude, that looks hot. I tweeted because I saw this thing, this crossover. Can they make Andromeda 60 frames, please? Like, please.
Let's see.
Please
go for it.
I know people don't like it, but like, I just want another Mass Effect to play, and I haven't played Andromeda. I'm just not playing it at 30.
I'm willing to give it another go. I bet they fixed a lot of stuff for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Indeed.
Persona 3 Reloaded gets scores of 90 on Metacritic with, now it's over 60 reviews. It's actually right now sitting at an 89. You a Persona fan, Kev?
I played 12 hours of Persona 4 Golden on my beloved Vita.
So you're still in the prologue?
Yeah. Wait, really?
Probably. That's what everybody says.
I know, like, we were going on vacation. Mm-hmm. That was the last thing I was going to do, but I don't know. I really liked it. It's just so daunting to have like 100-hour game ahead of me, Yeah. And like, I just fell out of it for reasons not because it's bad, like just like different stuff. But I did really enjoy it. I did really like it. I don't know if Persona 3 should be the one that I play fully. I'm thinking more of like Persona 5, But fair. I mean, people love Persona 3. Looks fun to me. Looks a great time.
Fair. Well, that's been the Flash news. We're out. Kev, it's time for What You Been Playing, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League edition. I've put in over 15 hours of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League.
Very nice.
Humble brag. Nice. I've already killed some of the Justice League, as the name suggests.
How dare you?
It's not a spoiler. It's literally the name.
How dare you?
Why
are you killing them?
Well,
the fuck?
They've turned bad.
It's like it's the name of the game.
I know, dude. I'm really upset by it too. So Kev, I'm gonna I'm going to talk about this game.
Please.
Ask me questions along the way. You know, whatever comes to mind. Is there any that come to mind right now about Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League?
Have you beat the main story, and how long did it take you?
Great question. So I saw that the main story takes about 10 hours to beat. I would say at this point, I'm about halfway-ish through the game. And you go, well, Joe, you've been playing for 15 hours. I've been getting sidetracked constantly from this game, which is the first thing I want to kind of point out here. Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League, and we're just going to call it Suicide Squad for short from here on out, is a perfect case of like, hey, Joe, you have ADHD. You know that there's this point you got to get to, but there's, 3 Riddler challenges above you. There's this, helicopter that's looking at you ugly, and a whole bunch of like little side missions that's going to give you a bunch of knickknacks after you beat them. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go and I'm going to do those things. The city serves as a playground. And I know how cliche that sounds, but when you just sit there at the ground level, it's like a typical kind of like Arkham layout of like, this is not how a functional city operates. This is more like a Boston, but with better buildings and infrastructure. Sorry, people of Boston. But it's so fun to traverse. So the one character that I keep on maining as is Captain Boomerang. And Captain Boomerang is all about slinging his boomerang in each opposite direction and teleporting there with some like dashes and skips that he can do along the way to kind of mix match the traversal. I'm really digging it. It also works really well in combat. So the one thing that I like to do is like I like to get the aerial view of my opponent. So I will throw my boomerang real high up in the air and kind of throw my grenade on the ground. And there's some grenades that like, standard grenade, just an explosion or just a toxic gas. Or sometimes it's like an aerial bombardment towards my enemies. And then I get to just zip down, shoot a couple of them, and then zip right out. Suicide Squad works best when your hands keep moving. And that's what it does really well. So like your time on the sticks, when they're on your controller, your hands are constantly moving, constantly adjusting, and it feels really good. The combat itself, to me, feels really damn rewarding. When it clicks really well. The one thing that I'm not the biggest fan of at the moment are the talent trees. They don't seem to do much for me.
Are those like skill trees type of thing?
It's like, okay, so there's a max level, if I'm correct, of 16. You have 3 traversal options, 3 options. One focuses on traversal. One focuses, for me, as Boomerang. It's all about getting in and out of combat really fast. That's one option. Or the last option is you get to be a tank. And you kind of get to mix match where you want to place your points. I wish there was more for the traversal option, because as much as I love the traversal as Boomerang the most, there are some things that I think they could have added to make the traversal feel a little better, because there are some times where, I don't have enough time to land on the floor to reset my Boomerang throws, and the traversal kind of just stops, where it's like I just built all this, momentum just to stop. And that's a bit of a bummer for me. It's not like with Spider-Man where it's like I could be swinging for hours. It's like I'm traversing for about 30 seconds tops. I think a lot of people are going to have a lot of fun with Deadshot, because I think he's very much the easiest. I've seen a lot of people compare him to something of like Attack on Titan with the jump packs and how they work. So it's all about just boosting really high in the air and then doing like an active reload in the air to get more time with your jetpack. It's really fun. It's really rewarding. He's a ton of fun when it comes to movement. King Shark's all about power jumps and dashes in the air. And the funny thing about him, he's a shark and he's just like swimming in the air. It's cute. And he's also like a wrecking ball. The way I play him is like, he only has one gun that I use for him. It's the minigun. And I'm here. I'm like a bruiser to take all the damage. He's a lot of fun to play. The person that I dislike the least, and I spent literally 30 minutes with at tops, is Harley.
That's tough. That's tough scenes. Her
traversal just doesn't click with me. Doesn't make much sense. And it's not really fun. It's
like the grapple, right? And you have to like dive and get like dolphin dive to get momentum.
get momentum to
that.
swing again, but you never have enough airtime for because like you can't just hook whenever you want or else you're Spider-Man. So you kind of have to either hook onto your little bat wing that you have in the air to do ballerina swings, or you hook onto ledges, and those don't feel right. So it's just her gameplay just doesn't speak to me in the slightest.
I remember playing the alpha, and I'm like, why isn't this grapple hook feel right?
Yeah.
You know, I was like, why can't it just be from building to building in a similar like Arkham, you know, basically like a Arkham Knight type way, you know? I don't know why. I don't know. It is what it is. But please continue.
Yeah. So for me, combat with Boomerang is the most fun. So I just kind of stick to it. I have him with a shotgun and a sniper from afar. Deadshot is also really fun to maneuver because when you get him hovering in the air, I love when he gets to kind of hover in the air and like land those sniper shots. It feels really good. The combat itself is a ton of fun. And the ultimates that you get to unlock as well are pretty darn cool. He reminds me a lot of like Tracer in Overwatch. Is probably why I love him so much. But yeah, combat's great. Traversal, I can see where people can get annoyed from it, and I know this is a PlayStation show, as I always say when I state this. So a lot of people aren't going to get it. They're not going to get the references, but it feels like Sunset Overdrive. And I loved Sunset Overdrive. It's the reason why I bought an Xbox One. I bought the white one for it. And so for me, it's like, oh, this is hey kids, we have Sunset Overdrive at home. Okay, cool. It feels a bit, especially with King Shark, it feels a bit like Crackdown, where I'm doing like big jumps in the air to just land on my opponent to do a whole bunch of crazy shit. Yeah, feels really good. When it comes to combat selection, though, like mission types, I could see where it varies. Like there's maybe 5 to 6 different mission types that you get to, at least from what I've seen so far, get to interact with. And I could see how that gets tiring from time to time, for sure. But I'm also playing this game in 3 or 4 hour bursts when I'm playing it. So to me, I dig the side content. I dig the combat. The traversal is something that it is for each his own, but there's literally 4 different classes to choose from. So for me, it's like, there's definitely something here for everyone. The story itself is divisive. This is Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. It's in the name. You have a mission. Brainiac has taken over the Justice League, and you have to kill them. And I think it does a really good depiction on what the Suicide Squad is. I think James Gunn has done it the best of showing you will die on this mission. But this one, it's more of like, none of the team really like each other, but at the same exact time, they kind of do. It's like this, it's not even like a twisted family, like Guardians of the Galaxy, right? Like these outcasts that turn family. It's more like, we're outcasts. We don't kind of like each other, but like we got some type of like familiarity to us, and we'll bust each other's chops. Like they're friendly, but they're not. It's like that one coworker that you shouldn't trust, and it's all of them. I like their dynamic though. I love the personalities. I think that's where Rocksteady really shines. Like Deadshot's dumb phobias are on full display here. They definitely understand Harley Quinn to a T. King Shark, hand it to Samoa Joe here, dude. Excellent King Shark. He's not like a dumb like bird. He's actually super like educated. He's a bookworm, and he just kind of wants to experience the world more. And it's just like, are you really a villain? Like, because I like you a lot, dude. And Captain Boomerang's just a jackass. And I feel like they form something really... They form a really strong connection. I think the writing is the best when it's focused on them. And I understand there are elements where people aren't going to like it, because this is the Arkhamverse, and it feels like they're doing disservice to some of the members of the Justice League. And to me, I can understand that complaint, because we didn't get to experience Arkham's Flash, or we want to see Kevin Conroy being like whisked away respectably, like honored and a statue in his name type of stuff. You're not getting that in this game. And I get why that's going to piss some people off. I will say where I'm at with the story, that if this is the same type of universe that Wonder Woman is going to exist in, holy shit. We're in for a great Wonder Woman game, because that got me hyped. Wonder Woman has stolen the show. Every time she's in there, she's a badass. She's awesome. And I love some of the chemistry she has with the Suicide Squad. Is it the best writing that Rockstar's done? No.
Rocksteady.
Rocksteady. Sorry, I said Rockstar, huh? It happens.
But
it's still really damn great. As someone who sucked at the Arkham games, it's for me good to know that I have a game that I'm good at, that I'm enjoying the story of. And for me, it's like these characters, as where I'm at right now, they're not going to me, it's like, it's comic books. Like Barry's going to come back. You know what I mean? Like it's just, they're going to Lazarus pit all of them somehow, some way, whatever the case is, they're going to find a way. So like, where people are upset that you're killing the Justice League, it's like, name a game, and I bet there's some comic book trickery that brings them back at the 11th hour. So For me, I'm not too heartbroken by the nonsense. But that said, I like where the story's headed. I'm really intrigued, and I enjoy this game quite a bit. Is this my game of the year? No. Is this even going to be close? Probably not. And I get where that bothers people, because they're like, Arkham should always be, Rocksteady should always be at a 9. But it's like, it's fine that they're like an 8. This one's still a really fun experience. So I don't know. I'm having a blast with it. Can I recommend this to everybody at this very point in time? No. This is still a wait and see. I think wait until all the reviews are out, because this game is incredibly divisive. Incredibly so.
Interesting. So as I've been seeing this game unfold, right? Like, I think a big thing, I love the Arkham games.
Yeah.
Right. I it's probably my favorite Batman depiction overall. Like, just that like tends to happen just because, like, if it's a game, like, I just connect more on games and a movie or TV show, whatever. But I think it's just like I just didn't expect Rocksteady's follow-up to be something like this, to be a third person, co-op online live service thing, right? Which we've all had the conversation. It is what it is, right? Like, I just think that it's not productive at this point with the game being out and game, and the game shipping and it's here. It's in early access, but launching on Friday. That's just not really going to be anything that's going to be anything new, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to down it for what it's not, or like try to, hope it into, and like, I think a lot of people are.
Yeah.
And it's like, guys, like okay, like
a great example of that.
Yeah, go
Kev,
on, please.
Is I'm talking to a friend of me, Luke Lore, and he's like, I would actually like this game way more if it wasn't in the Arkhamverse. And I'm like, okay, then just in your head,
it's fair.
Say it's not in the Arkhamverse. Because to him, he's like, it's very disrespectful to Arkham. And now, again, caveat, I'm not as connected into the Arkham games. Again, that's something like me and my brother would bond over.
Right.
He'd play, and I'm like secondhand watching because I'm horrible at those games. So like, I don't have that intimate relationship. And I would say if you do have that intimate relationship with that game, I would or that series, hold off and wait, because you might not. To me, I don't. When I say that writing's not the strongest, it's like y'all literally wrote Batman, and this Brainiac version of Batman is fucking annoying. Like, he's
really,
like Batman doesn't talk this much. Batman's talking an awful lot. And that's the one thing that's actually bothering me, has bothered me time and time again. It's like, dude, just shh,
right.
So there are some aspects that even me, as a not longtime fan of that series, I go, okay, come on, Bruce, but at the end of the day, I'm like, but if you're still having fun with it, then to me, it's like, I'm having fun. I don't know. It doesn't irk me that bad. That said, would you like to read some of the questions for me there, Kev? The viewer questions. Yeah.
Let's see. Birdos Maximus.
Yes.
My question for today's episode is, why do you both think toxicity exists in gaming, seeing as gaming is meant to be socialized and fun? Do you think toxicity sometimes helps a game's release? The reason I asked that last part is, let's face it, sometimes toxicity breeds rebellion, which, depending on the rebellion, could lead to more sales for said title or its competitors. This would lead the ultimate question of, do you think developers either of said title or its rivals are the ones to plant the seeds? Interesting. I think you're mute.
Why is there toxicity in this city? Thank you for the save, Kev. Because toxicity leads, man. Like that, it is what it is. I think. Listen, I'll let you be silent on this one. There's been a lot of drama between IGN and Rocksteady. I like your nod your head. You're like, let me just mute my mic. And I think both sides have been kind of churlish about it. And understanding, like, I get the privilege of knowing some of the back end things that have happened. So to me, I think, like, the handling of this game has been messy on WB's part, and I don't think WB Games have helped in making it unmessy and selling people on this game. Why is there toxicity? I mean, because if it bleeds, it leads. Because the algorithm demands it at this point. Look, I said I was enjoying Suicide Squad, and someone literally called me like, well, you're a Trump supporter. I'm like, what?
Like, what kind of...
I'm like, just because here's the thing, Kev, just because I said if we built a wall, Brainiac and his army wouldn't be able to cross us. Is that it?
Like,
Kev?
what I will say, right?
But like, it's like,
well, please.
To me, it's like, how did you even get like I just said I like this game. Like,
it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, bro.
And so, like, when I see some folks out there, I'm like, dude, there's real things to get upset at. Like, some people are just pulling out spoilers of this game. Again, I get it. Some things are in the title of the game, and I think that's fair. But I'm not going to tell you beat by beat what happens to character X, Y, and Z. Like, absolutely not. Just because why? It's not a Batman game. So some of it's kind of just, like, predetermined. Sometimes it's just easy to pile on. When it comes to like toxicity between like PlayStation and Xbox, it's because, in truth be told, we're both niches, and most of the times when it comes to like creators that aren't good at this, they don't know how to take advantage of a slow news week without involving the other party. Right. So like that's why you see like Colt Eastwood saying a whole bunch of shit that doesn't happen and try to explain, developer talk, and it's so cringy, right? Trying to sell you and get hyped on Redfall. We don't do that here. And there's probably other like toxic PlayStation fans that are like, look at the cufflinks on Indiana Jones knitted sweater. This game looks like trash. I forget their name. I call them out too. And it's like, it's all shit. It's just, hey, this is video games. Video games are supposed to be fun. And I'm not going to yuck anyone's yum on the Xbox side, because I like Starfield too. Every time when people argue about Starfield's score, I'm like, I'm just sitting here playing Starfield, trying to romance Sarah. Like, it's like, it's not that serious. So to me, it's like, we've bred a community where it's about the games, the developers, celebrating them, and me creating a show where you're a PlayStation fan having fun with PlayStation, and you could be an Xbox fan, PC fan, Nintendo fan, still enjoy our content. So toxicity, it happens, and it's getting more heightened in the last 4 months because, let's be honest, how do we engage in video game conversations 9 times out of 10? Through Twitter. And what has Twitter's algorithm done? Monetized posts. So people are saying things, if they have a blue check mark, most of them don't even believe the shit that they're spewing. They just know it's going to get someone angry and make a comment, right? Or get a repost or whatever they're calling it now. So like, that's the reason as to why, But like, for people to call me out going, oh, you must be a Trump supporter. First off, if you must know who I'm voting for this general election, it is the Random Meteor and Rogue Solar Flare 2024. Let's just get it out of the way at this point. So it's like, it's very weird. It's very weird.
It's something that, and like, I will speak lightly, not involving the specifics of IGN and all that and everything, but
don't get in
what
trouble,
I've observed.
Kev.
Yeah, no, I won't. Just what I've simply observed being a little bit on the other side, right? And it's just something that like I heard and I thought it wasn't full. I'm like, there's no way like that's like the grand like scaping general like truth, right? But there is truth to that, y'all. Generally speaking,
dogs outside. They agree. They're hooting and hollering right now. Yeah,
like there is something that generally, on average, you are going to interact with something that you vehemently disagree with more than something that you love, and I don't know why that is. And like I'm not trying to be like holier than thou or whatever. I'm honest to God not, right? But like y'all can go look at my feet. Like I don't talk about things I don't like.
Right.
I don't give air to things I don't like. I just let them be and just whatever. And if it's asked upon, sure, that's one thing. If it's asked upon, especially on a podcast where I can lay out hey, there's a little bit of nuance here that we got to take into account. There's a little bit of context here that we got to take into account, and I'm able to fully form my opinion that, is lost when, I can't eloquently do it fully on Twitter, right? Or else I'd be there all day, And I think there's just a weird thing where like it's something about the human psyche, I suppose, or maybe it's a particular, I don't know. I don't like have the answer, but yeah, things that you disagree with, you're more likely going to interact with. Yeah. And I think until we see that kind of shift, I think that's going to be honestly what it takes. We got to share what we love. Yep. We got to share what we want. And if someone else is doing that and
reward that content.
And like, yo, like that's cool. Even if I don't like that thing, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's cool. Like
I just
example.
think a great example that will get me angry by another set of folks as well.
What's up?
Is like talking about like Hogwarts Legacy and people going that wizard game. It's like what you're talking. We all know what you're talking about, and like the mass boycotts is like you're only just giving it free advertising. Maybe you guys just ignore it. And I bet if they ignored it, it would have done probably a little less.
A little less, and that's the thing too. Yeah, like so that's for example where.
Sorry, Kev, go for it.
No, like that's just a perfect example of that too, where it's like, I don't know, like if you feel right that way about Hogwarts Legacy, you are in your right to do that.
Yeah,
I'm not saying you're wrong. No one's saying you're wrong. Wholeheartedly, like that's completely within your rights as a human to do that. You know what I'm saying?
You can not play a game for whatever reason you want.
Yeah, it's fine. Like it's totally cool. You know what I'm saying?
Same with Kill the Justice League. You don't want to play it because whatever, go for it.
Yeah, like I'm not like tying it back to Suicide Squad. Like I'm not particularly amped to go play that. Like I think the only way I'm gonna play that, which I was gonna ask you, like, do you think I can have fun with this? Is if I go in, probably play as Deadshot, and probably just mainline the story. And do it how I did like Avengers DLCs, where like I kind of tunnel visioned all of the live servicey stuff out of it.
You did not do
that. Interact with that. Can I still enjoy it? Because I really, really enjoyed the Avengers DLCs that came out and the main story.
Yeah, if you want to play it like that, absolutely. But also,
like
it is on the shorter side. Not to say that short is bad, but like,
hey, I'm down for. Listen, man, I'm down for that.
All right, fair enough. So like,
I am very much down for a 10-hour experience. I'm down. I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
I'm cool with that.
So absolutely. Then I would say, you could beeline it. But yeah, so like to me, it's just like people just want to be angry, just want to yell. I don't have the energy for that anymore. So like, Captain Tutone writes in Tutone. Yeah, I got it. They're glad message me this week on. No, you didn't. Are critics too hard against the game Suicide Squad? No. Every reviewer has their opinion. This is a divisive game because different people are playing it that have different perspectives, that have different levels of like hype for it. So like, no, they're within their right for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
And I think a big thing too is that like, I think if you have a a reviewer and even a player like me, right, that like loves the Arkham games, like these are very different games.
Yeah.
They're just very different games, you know? So it's unlikely that you're gonna have a Guerrilla Games Horizon scenario where they make a completely different genre and people love it. You know, that doesn't happen often. That does not happen often. Nope. You know,
especially when a company like this big. So like KD writes in, okay, guys, hi. A bit more of a rant from me. Why are people such flirkin' insecure crybabies? Oh, I see what you did there. I am seeing good reviews drop for Suicide Squad, and of course, comments are filled with paid review. It's such a simple concept that folks, time and time again, just fail to grasp. People don't have to like or dislike the same thing. I'm not huge on Suicide Squad, and I imagine there's a lot of folks in this community who are probably the same. But you know what? We're all adults, and we could go, okay, it's not for me, but it could be for someone else, and good for them. Hope they enjoy it. I'll find something else. Whereas half of Twitter has to make it their personality that this isn't what they wanted. First off, I need to state this. If I'm being paid by WB to say nice things, I have to legally disclose it. Okay? There is one time, being truthful, I'm not going to say the game, I didn't mention ad, and they're like, you have to take that down. Like, I got an email not even 5 minutes into it. They go, hey, listen, you forgot to put this up. Can you redo the tweet? And I'm like, oh, shoot, sorry. And I did it because they don't want to get in trouble, and hell, God knows I don't want to get in trouble. So legally, per se, that's why when people go, oh, they bought the review. It's like, nope, they have to literally disclose that they got the code, and they would have to legally disclose that they are getting paid for said review. So that's why that doesn't happen. And people are crybabies because, listen, part of it is like, listen, you're taking this IP that I really love, Arkham, and you may or may not be destroying my favorite character because of it. And that's, again, like valid, but the level of hate, it's just like, hey, not for me, and just move on, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, last but not leastly, Green Gorilla Gamer writes in. Sup, Kyle? Hello, Joseph. Okay, Green Gorilla. Fuck me, I guess.
Joseph.
Yeah, okay. Well, because, you know, listen, he has some thoughts about Last of Us Part 2 and why I named my dog Abby. I'm just going to stop there.
Again, hey. No hate.
No hate. No hate.
It's
no
cool.
Hate. No hate.
It's cool. It's all good. It's all love. Don't worry about
For
it.
as someone who's been excited for Suicide Squad since day one, the toxicity surrounding the game is nothing short of disappointing. Hearing people talk about it being Fortnite level of game with no creativity, I hate that. A game not sharing codes out of pettiness, the Flash being too fast, and of course one that I love to hear, it's not Batman Arkham. I'm pretty sick of it at this point. This game will be enjoyed by a lot of people. Doesn't need to be a 10 out of 10 like Elden Ring, which loops back to a question I asked months ago. Does every game need to be like Elden Ring? And the answer is just no. And he goes on a little bit here. I won't beat a dead horse here, but he says, enjoy the state of play. Have a good week. Much love, begrudgingly, to both of you. Listen, Cade.
Fortnite level with no...
One sec,
Fortnite
Cade.
level game with no creativity.
Cade, keep playing Last of Us Part 2, and you're going to understand the level of genius. The level of sheer genius. And just trust me. Trust me.
Can I say something about that?
Yeah, go for it.
Do you remember what I DM'd you about, like, do you think with the Part 2 remaster that people are going to play actually play the last part and like actually engage with it?
Cade engaged with it and he was really upset by it. So it's like it's okay. Again, divisive game.
That's fair.
But we have to have
that's fair.
You know, we have to have deeper conversations. So like, yeah, again, the whole conversation's annoying. Listen, truth be told, no shade to you, Kev. I had no problem with the Flash boss fight. I didn't think he was that fast, so it's like, it's fine. Codes out of pettiness, that's not in my ballpark to say. I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, that said, thank you all for your questions there. At the end of the day, I'm really enjoying the game. I'm sorry if that makes sense.
That's good, man. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. And like, I've heard similar things of what you've said, right? Like the story, there's a lot of really cool moments there, like live intrigue from what I've been hearing. You know what I'm saying? I haven't played it, but
A twist
that's what I've been hearing
happens.
as well.
A twist happens. That's why when I'm like,
Cool
read the
twist.
cover
It's a
of
cool
the game,
twist.
I'm like, yeah, wait a season or two. That's all I'm gonna say.
Interesting. Very interesting.
So listen, truth be told, I need to prepare the drop. It's something that, in anticipation for this state of play, I forgot to get the drop this week. So I apologize, and I will try better next
drop.
week. As I'm saying that, I'm still trying to look at the games that, yeah. There's just nothing this week. So don't prepare the drop. Sorry. Last but not leastly, it's time for the Sony Pony Express, and then we're going to get on out of here. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Kevin, it's time for the Sony Pony Express. Yeehaw! That's right, cowboy. Papa Taz writes in. Had to do it for both. Question for the Sony Pony Express. Yeehaw! Oh, the first... Yeah, cowboys! Look at that. Oh, my God. Papa Taz really getting into it. My question is... Sorry, are for going to have an influx of video game movies and TV shows after the success of Mario and Twisted Metal. Do you think... You forgot The Last of Us, Papa. It's all right.
Crazy.
That's all right. The Big Papa forgives you. Do you think this will cause burnout like we have in the comic book genre currently? Y'all take care. Much love.
I think that we're already seeing a lot of game adaptations. You know, even before Mario came out and Twisted Metal, like a lot of these things were greenlit. And the reason why I don't think we will see a burnout in the same way, at the least, is that it's not like these are connected universes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's, I think, a big thing where, like, I honestly don't think that the volume of comic movies is the problem. I think a lot of it, well, you know what? No, I mean, for the MCU's case, there's a definite bloat, if you will, for phase 4.
Yeah.
You know, yes. And that's fair, right? But I think people are still wanting to go to see well-crafted and good storytelling shows and movies that are comic book themed. You know what I'm saying? So I think the quality's there. I think it's going to be fine. You could debate one way or the other if you feel the MCU has taken that dip. I maybe fall in that camp a little bit, per se. But I don't think we'll see a burnout in the same way. I just think we'll see a burnout if it ends up being bad.
Yeah.
You know?
I think you made a great point.
Yeah.
I think the one thing that people kind of, don't acknowledge or forget to is the fact that, like The Last of Us isn't tied to Uncharted. You know, Mario, there may be a burnout of like Mario movies if they keep on making like everything leads up to Super Smash Brothers and Master Hand, right? Like all that stuff. Sure, there'll be eventual peter out, but like all these projects are diverse enough in both quality, cast, visual design, all of it, that we're not going to see that type of burnout from that of like the MCU or the DCEU. And I think the last but not leastly thing is like, also it all depends on who's handling the projects. If these games are like, oh, it's a video game movie, okay, we're gonna hand it off to Schumacher or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, then you're gonna see shit. But what we're seeing is people that have been incredibly influenced by video games who happen to also be incredible showrunners, directors, writers, right? You got the guy at Chernobyl handling Last of Us and doing it so damn well, right? You're seeing the showrunners of Westworld handle Fallout. So it's like things are starting to line up right. And I think like Illumination was the perfect choice for Super Mario. So like you're seeing the right partnerships be made. That said, the weird partnership is Sony with The Legend of Zelda. That's going to be wild. Are you kidding me? Starring Tom Holland? That's going to be nuts.
That's weird, but a really good one.
Yeah.
If I might add.
Go for it.
A24 and Death Stranding is going to... Bro.
Come on.
I just can't wait to see what the average moviegoer thinks about Kojima's body of work.
Yeah.
You know? That's what I'm so curious to see what the general public thinks about Kojima.
Perfect partnership. Like A24 does
Perfect.
weird shit all the time.
The weirdest shit possible. The
And
weirdest shit ever.
Meet the guy that does the most weird shit I've ever seen.
Hell yeah.
Again, he just did a guitar that shoots lightning, for Christ's sakes.
But it was so cool. It was so cool. Remember how cool it was?
So in.
Remember when they were blue for no reason?
Oh my God, no reason
so
whatsoever.
cool.
They were smurfing it.
I don't know. We'll see.
But yeah, so I think it's just, quality plays a factor. But I do think when the types of games we're playing, I think there's some of them are starting to get predictable, and I think that's the scary thing. Is like when do people start getting a little sick of Assassin's Creed like gameplay? When do people get kind of sick of what like PlayStation does? Right? People get in moods, so it's gonna be.
Some would argue some already have.
Yeah, exactly. So that's gonna be the interesting thing going forward. But yeah. Games are awesome. That's it for the Sony Pony Express. Y'all really crush it with your questions and your comments this week. Thank you all so much for tuning in to our live show and just having fun with us. It's up on YouTube right now. After 50 minutes go by, turn it off because the other 2 hours. This is why Kyle's here.
Maybe we can go to the back end and trim it. You know what I'm saying?
I think we could. I can rigmarole. Yeah.
The old YouTube studio.
Yeah, I'll go behind the scenes. Kev, where can people find you, my good friend?
You find
anything
me on,
you'd like to spotlight before you get on out of here?
YouTube.com/PlayStation Source. You know what I'm saying? We did a no return tips and tricks and overall kind of review in progress. Really, I don't want to say review because like I haven't really quote unquote beat the full mode, but you know what I'm saying? My overall thoughts on like I bet when I beat in quotes no return, I think I'll probably come to the same conclusions. You know what I'm saying overall, but definitely go check out that. And if you want to know the latest in trailers and gaming entertainment, keep it locked on IGN, of course. If you want to read my beautiful descriptions, you know what I'm saying, you might see some of them on IGN videos. That's what I do a lot.
Okay,
there
you go. And you can find me over at Mr. Badbit on Twitter. You can find the show at PS Trophy Room on Twitter. You can find us over at patreon.com/PS Trophy Room. Toss us a buck our way. Keep the lights on. Keep the show going. It's the reason why we look so good. We look and sound so great is because of your generosity over at patreon.com/PS Trophy Room. And then you get to get loads of bonus content, bonus arguments between Kyle and I about Joel getting his ass handed to him by Leon. It ain't even close. You get to have the community conversations. You get to have deep dives into the games that we are playing. You get the behind the scenes after shows, all that and more. Patreon.com/PS Trophy Room. And with all that said, and with all that out of the way, everybody, keep your wits about you, keep hunting, and keep playing PlayStation. See you guys.
Later.